Hello, everyone, anyone who's here. I'm sorry about that delay. I was on the wrong platform on my laptop, so now we're here. So we have one person, and I'll wait like another few seconds before I get into anything. But if you want to, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. I would love to know who you are, where you're from, what you're up to today on this lovely hot Saturday in New Jersey. I have not been outside yet, and it is noon, so I need to get out there and get some sun. All right, so today I have been really missing chatting about like doula work and things with you guys. Normally that used to be like a really big part of this channel, and it's kind of changed over the last few weeks. So I wanted to give the opportunity to just talk about it a little bit. If you have any questions, or if you're kind of moving through something right now that you just want to chat about, I'm here for that today for sure. And I wanted to talk a little bit about like creative ruts, because I feel like that so heavily plays a role in my work, especially like the self-employed side. I feel like that affects so many things, and I want to talk like a little bit about how I am navigating that right now, because I think that's what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing a little bit of a creative rut. Hi, Caitlin. I invited you on Instagram. Thank you guys for coming. I sent this to some of the people that I've chatted with over on Instagram. So it makes me so happy that you're here. Thank you so much. And feel free to ask any questions, because that's really what I want this hour or half an hour, however much time we have together, to look like. So I'm just trying to find my note on creativity that I actually found in my journal today. And it was so relevant to like how I'm feeling right now. I really should have marked my spot. But yeah, I think that doula work, we don't realize how much actual creativity falls into doula work. And we don't think about that when we become a doula. We just think we're going to attend women and families, and it's just going to kind of flow. And I think so much of this is creative and intuitive. And when we're feeling a little bit blocked off in those areas in our lives, it totally affects work. And I think like for me, it's so true. I don't know if for you, other doulas, how you feel about that. But I like to be creative in my work, because all of it looks different. And when that's kind of, affected, I don't feel 100%. I can't find this note. Recently, hi, Lewis. I don't know if I'm saying your first name right, but hello. Thank you for being here. So I can't find it. I don't know if I'm meant to talk about creativity right now, but I guess I'll just give you a little bit of where I'm at, like work-wise with doula work, how this is looking. I'm coming to my second year in this work, and I think that every few months it's looking a little bit different, being like a birth and postpartum doula and navigating the mesh of those two together. I don't know, Caitlin, if you're still here, if you are pursuing birth work or postpartum work or both, but it can get a little, you feel torn between the two at times, because I think they're so different but so similar. And when there are a few different interests as a doula, it can be really hard to focus on like where to put your energy and how to make something happen. And I've realized, I think I've shared this with you before on a video or something, but I'm really trying to focus on one area and really create that, be in that space, and kind of allow something to bloom, because when we're torn in a few different areas, I think that it becomes a little confusing, and it can be confusing to people that we are trying to like share our work with, and it can be confusing on the marketing side as well, and just in like our daily life. I think that we like to multitask and do a bunch of things, but when we're really trying to get clear on our offerings and how we want to show up for people, it can feel a little all over the place. And I think that's why I am in a creative rut, because over the last 2 years, I've just been pulled in so many different directions. And I think it's also a blessing in a way, right? Because when we are pulled in different directions, we have the ability to really figure out what we like and what we don't like about ourselves, how we're showing up, our work, and I think just who we work with in general. We can really get more clear on all of that. So some of the things that I do when I feel like I don't really know where to go next or what to seek out, I'll just do nothing. And I think that kind of opens the door, like energetically, for things to come to me. And one of the things I'll kind of take a step back with is listening to like social media, like podcasts and like information and reading. I'll kind of just take a total break from all of consuming, and I'll focus more on like getting really going inward and getting really clear on what I'm feeling. And sometimes it's those reminders, like those silence reminders, and just like daily, everyday life that helps me kind of get more clear on what I need to do and what will work best for me and my family. And then the answers start to come. So I feel like I'm kind of on the upside now. There was this very like anxious period and this period of unknown. And now I feel like I'm kind of going on the up. And August is kind of feeling like a break, like a breath of fresh air in a way. I don't know if you can relate, but I'm feeling like I can be at peace with not knowing my direction right now, and kind of just go into the fall season with an open mind to anything that's to come. And I think when things get too stressful or too overwhelming, it's easy to just want to give up. But I think that's the reminder to take space, stop comparing to other people's journeys or offerings or experiences, and to just get some time to go inward and just accept right now as a breath and just breathe until the next door opens. So that's really where I am right now. And in this breath, I'm realizing that I do have the ability to, possibly create something better for myself now, because I'm not feeling that overwhelm anymore. I'm kind of just being and really allowing myself to do that. And I think that this time period relates so much to my doula work, because I like to take my time with my clients. I like to have peaceful postpartum visits and very attentive prenatal visits. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed and kind of rushed in my own life, I can feel that anxiety being brought into my work. And then I think that leads to confusion. Like, what am I supposed to do if I'm feeling stressed out right now or anxious right now? Well, it probably has nothing to do with the work itself. It probably has to do with where I am right now in my life. And I think that a lot of people wonder if doula work is right for them because of where they are in their life. And I think that's a valid question to ask yourself if you are looking to become a doula, or, wondering if this path is something that's right. I think it totally matters where you are in your life and what you can give to others, because this is a career path where we are giving a lot. And if we aren't filling up our own cups and experiencing the breath, that's how doulas experience doula burnout. So right now in this breath, I'm realizing there is a chance to kind of transform and become better, become more clear, more grounded. And I think that's exactly what I'm experiencing. It's happening. I'm just trying to stay patient in it because I am not a patient person at all. Very impatient. So yeah, I'm trying to be in this stillness. But I want to invite you, if you have any questions, to please drop them in the chat. I would love to chat a little bit about doula work if you have anything on your mind. I'm kind of just talking to wait for any questions. But yeah, another thing I do when I'm feeling a little bit like in a creative rut, I always head to my friends and my family, and this kind of like helps me get back into my personality and helps me realize like what I want to create and what I can be bringing to my work, like what seems to be missing. I feel like when I look to other professionals or other people that are doing it, either who I think are doing it better than me or more experienced than I am, I kind of lose my my own creativity because I'm like in that comparative mindset and trying to figure out if I'm doing things right. But when I'm hanging out with other people and being with, my friends and my family who really highlight the things that I like about myself, I feel like I'm able to be more genuine in my work. And I think that goes back to like making sure our cups are filled up as doulas, because when we kind of lose sight, or when we're having interactions with people and they're good interactions and we're feeling like we're either benefiting the conversation or getting something from the conversation with people that we love, I feel like it's that type of support that helps us continue to do well in our work. And for some reason, that's just been so highlighted to me lately. I've realized that I have so many people around me that I haven't been seeing because I've been so hung up on my work, like if I'm being productive enough, if I'm getting enough done. And I'm realizing that I'm kind of losing myself in the process. Hi, Hunter. Oh, wow. Wow, I'm curious to know like how that looks for you and how cerebral palsy helps and also could add, some discomfort to being a doula, because it isn't easy work. It really isn't. And you're amazing for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. And if you have anything else to share on that, I would be happy to hear it and chat with you. It's not easy work, and self-care and all of that I think is talked about so much in this work that it really can't go without being stressed. But I think that self-care isn't really explained in the way that sometimes we need it to be as doulas, because this is such like a personal job and it's interactive and it takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. And I think that the self-care that we think of sometimes is getting massages and meditating and all of that. And that's great. But I think that we need self-care in the form of like chatting with people and being in the community and being around people that understand what doula work can feel like sometimes. Sometimes it's not just like a self-care day where you're focused on, doing those physical self-care things. Sometimes it's therapy or having like a talk session with another doula, or, a friend that makes you light up and helps you, or a date night with a partner. It doesn't have to be those very physical things. I think that we need to focus more on like the interactions that we're having in our life and where we may be neglecting. And I think those are the places that we can like kind of get filled up in and be able to transfer that really good energy that we receive from others into our doula work. I do it fully digitally, so no mom should be alone in this entire world. That's so beautiful, Hunter. Wow. So are you like a virtual doula for birth or for postpartum, or do you do both? If you're still here, that's amazing. So while I wait for this reply, I think that we can kind of end the conversation of creativity and self-care and all of that, because that's all I really have to say. Creativity is so much of this for me. And when that's hindered, I feel a little bit hindered in my work. Only for birth. Wow. Good for you, Hunter. I'm sure you are so appreciated. That's so beautiful. Caitlin said, I'm trying to figure out how to integrate virtual postpartum work right now. This is such an interesting topic, virtual postpartum. I could see how it could be so beneficial because there's breastfeeding support, there's hitting all of those self-care topics and things that we were just talking about, like making sure that the person that is healing is filling themselves up or having the opportunity to do that in some way, and kind of chatting through that with them. I think, sharing with your potential clients that like stressing the importance of all of that, I think that could be a really good way to get it out there. But it is a little, I don't know, I don't want to use the wrong word, but when people think of postpartum support, they think of in the home. So I think that people are kind of hesitant to virtual postpartum support because they don't know what it could be or what it could look like. So I think like stressing the importance of all of those important things like breastfeeding and like the mental health side could be really helpful, because I think sometimes people are even a little confused on what postpartum doulas help with, and like what that support could really look like. So that would be really fun. I would love to hear how you do end up integrating it, or what works for you, Caitlin, because I've definitely been curious about that myself. So yeah, I think that could be a really great niche. What is my next video going to be all about? I don't know yet. I'm kind of in this flow zone, so I'm not exactly sure what my next video will be on, whether it will be live or pre-edited. I'm not sure. Hunter, I'm also here for you as well if you ever need anyone to talk to. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I think like creating, maybe, I don't know if like a Facebook page would be good, but just a place where some of the really awesome people could all go to, like the people here right now that are watching this video. I'm so appreciative of you being here. Anybody that's looking to kind of have a little bit more of a community, whether it's like doula work or just support in general with like more like-minded people, let me know if you have any recommendations on a platform where I should bring this to, because there's so many of you I have such amazing conversations with on Instagram, but I really want like a place where we can all chat and be together, because I think we could all help each other, you know? Hi, Emma. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Oh, it's so good to see everybody here and just chatting. And we only have a few people right now, but that's fine with me. I love it. Yeah, I'm here for any way we can connect. I'm so excited to be here. And I miss, honestly, when there's a few days where I don't talk to anybody or post or have a live, I miss you guys. I miss chatting and having like these open conversations and stuff. This is so much fun to me. I'm so happy that I started to do like these live streams so I can be in person. Yeah, let's start a Facebook group. Oh, great. Okay, so this is what we'll do. I think I'm going to create a Facebook group for all of us, and I'll write the name of it in the description of this video when it's created. So if you ever are watching this and you're not here right now, you can head to the Facebook group, and then we can all kind of chat and be, you know, around each other. It could be focused more on like doula work. I think that would be probably the niche that would head to there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll definitely try to make one, and then I can kind of post when I'm going live. I think that could be helpful. Emma, I'm reading your comment right now. Oh, yeah. This is so real. And guys, I have a really exciting surprise that's coming up in like probably the early fall to look out for about midwifery. And it's going to be on my channel. And I'm so excited because this has been a huge struggle for me. And I'm not going to say that it's fixed because it's not. I stopped looking for a mentor because I just felt like the timing wasn't aligning. And yeah, I'm excited too, Emma. It is so real. Are you looking right now, Emma? Are you like starting midwifery school or just kind of experiencing knowing that there's no mentors out there if you did want to start? Oh, I ran into the same issues. Yeah. So I feel the exact same way. This is a kind of personal question, Emma, but have you had the chance to really experience or see somebody else experience physiological birth? So curious about your response. While we wait, I have to tell you guys, I've only seen physiological birth play out maybe once. And that means, there were definitely a few interventions there, but the only time I've seen natural birth in a hospital setting or any setting, because I didn't have a natural birth, I haven't attended a natural birth yet, was one time. And it was beautiful. It was in a hospital. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of midwives in my area that are hospital midwives. And the home birth midwives in my area a lot of them are CPMs. And I've connected with a few of them, and they do only home births, which is really great. But I haven't had a chance to work with them yet. So I was thinking before I get into midwifery, and this is like on a real note, before I get into midwifery, I really want to experience supporting physiological birth, what that looks like, how I feel in that, because that is important to know. It's so important to know. I feel like it's kind of easy to go into the hospital as a birth doula because there's interventions. There are things that we're moved out of the way from support a little bit. We have some space between us and our clients. It gives us some time to think and wonder like what we're going to do next or what we can help with next. But in physiological birth, I feel like that's a little bit different. There's really not, and especially if it's at home with a hands-off midwife, it looks and feels different. I can only imagine. And I've heard that home birth and hospital births are very, very different. So I want to experience that personally before I consider midwifery and, what that means, really. Caitlin, I'm reading your question right now. Oh, maybe I'll finish this question with Emma and then I'll read the other comments. That's so great, Emma. So Emma's going in to be an in-person birth assistant training. Okay, cool. I was curious about birth assisting and what that would feel like as, with a midwife, alongside a midwife. Will you be looking to like work alongside a midwife? Will it be like a midwife's assistant? Emma, yeah, the one I was also at the hospital, physiological birth. I'm so curious because I know people, yay, a midwife's assistant. So I know people who become midwife's assistants that they never get out of that role. They just stay in the midwife assistant role and they work with their midwife and, it's a great experience. And then some, of course, really, learn a lot about that midwifery role. And then they end up going into midwifery school and being a midwife. So I think that's a great way to get a taste. You've actually just reminded me that I was interested in that before, and I totally will look back into what that looks like. I know that it is still a personal relationship, like when you're looking for a mentor, but I think the good thing about being a midwife's assistant is that they don't have to really worry too much about training you and education and any of the paperwork that comes along with that. So it must be easier to become an assistant and get to see it on that end than going the other route and just kind of getting right into looking for a preceptor. Yay, that's so exciting. Please keep me updated on your training. Feel free to message me back on Instagram too, because I'm so curious as to like how this all goes for you. I'm so excited for you. That's amazing. Caitlin said, I've done some unpaid virtual work so far. I've got to hop off, but I'm so here for the Facebook group. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you for being here. It was so much fun. I'll definitely keep you updated on the Facebook group. Hunter, yeah, hopefully we can meet great friends. I've met so many of you amazing people, doulas, aspiring midwives, even just mothers looking into doula work. So I hope that it can be kind of like an interactive page for everybody to kind of get a little bit more insight. And I think some of the main themes that we'll be talking about are going to be birthy and postpartum and doula work and motherhood, because I think part of our mission as doulas, and this is something that I try to take with me wherever I go really as a doula, is chat with others about being a doula and educating on physiological birth. I always kind of throw that in there because I think it's these words that people hear and are like, wait, what's that? Like, isn't all birth physiological, you know? And I don't think these are things that we know because we are led to care providers who, you know, we are then led to the hospital with, and we don't always hear those words that make us want to ask questions. And, you know, I think it's our job as doulas to share those words and, you know, little seeds with other people. And it's not my style to make someone feel like they're not making the right choice. But I think educating is such a big part of this role that I like to more like ask questions and learn about why people choose what they choose. And it may help in them asking themselves questions. Oh yeah, why do I choose this? Was this just like the first choice? Was this always my OB? You know, I didn't know that I could have a choice here. So I kind of like to ask questions when I talk to new people. And I think that's what kind of like plants the seeds and helps others know that there's other options out there, and having a doula may potentially help with getting to some of those answers. Hunter, yeah, I just do it to help. I don't know why, but I've been into pregnancy and childbirth ever since I was a kid. I love that. I think that so many of us end up getting into pregnancy and childbirth education roles because there's just this passion there. And Hunter, I don't know what your experience is with like supporting so far, if you've had like mostly home births or hospital births, but I'm wondering from a virtual standpoint if you do have either or both experiences, if you want to share a little bit on that. But childbirth when I was little looks so different compared to what I know about it now. And it took me to become a doula to learn that not many people know about what our bodies are capable of. And even women sometimes are so stunned and inspired by the beauty that really lies within like pregnancy and childbirth and the rite of passage that kind of carries them into their postpartum healing. And it's amazing. I didn't know about any of this when I was younger or when I became a doula. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if any of you started doula work with not really knowing much about the body and childbirth itself, but I was amazed when I finally uncovered that birth could be another way. But yeah, I'm excited. And I do think too that as doulas, we could inspire others to ask themselves these hard questions and figure out what types of birth they want. But it's not our job to judge or make anyone feel like their decision is wrong. I think that knowing the options is number one. And even with my clients, I've only supported medicalized birth up until now. And I've never judged. My role and my goal as a doula is to say, this way here are all of your options, and please ask me if you have any questions on them. Like, let me know what I can help make more clear and help with. So I think that's what I really love about doula work, is birth can look so many different ways, and just making sure that we are offering all the options that our clients really want. And I think in this, also knowing our boundaries as doulas, like what do we feel comfortable supporting? What's our own personal philosophy? And I think the hard part becomes the boundary. Like what can I take on as a person and as a doula? Where do I draw the line in my support? So I feel like that's kind of like the hard questions that those are the hard questions I've been asking myself in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 months or so, because there are challenges that come up in birth and sometimes before the birth. And I think it's important to know what, like as people, we are comfortable with supporting and comfortable with standing by, because this is our personal role and it affects us and it affects others and who we support. So it's really good to know your boundary and, not necessarily judge, but know what you can handle. Oh, cool. Home births over texting. I love text support. I feel like texting is it becomes like, I don't know, like, I don't know what you normally feel about texting or video, but I feel like there's just this, a text away type of feeling with texting. And I feel like that would be a really, I don't know, cool experience, because I'll text my clients in early labor and then learn about when I can come and assist them and help with the comfort measures and kind of labor at home before we head to the hospital. And I always get so excited with texting because it's still personal enough for them to experience it. And I don't know, I just think it's such a fun way to support in those early hours. So I can imagine it kind of progressing and still using that modality. Excuse me, I just have a text. Okay, no worries. I am on call now, so I'm like always trying to check my phone, and I turned it on to vibrate right now, so we're all good. But yeah, I think this is really all I wanted to chat about, just some doula work and where I'm at, how I'm kind of feeling right now in this work. But yeah, I'll wait to see if you guys have any more questions. I prefer voice, so that way they don't have to worry about it. That is such a great idea. So I've never done virtual support yet. I don't know if that opportunity will arise for me, but knowing that you use voice is such a great thing. Did you have any like doula mentor before you became a doula and started to do virtual support, or was virtual support just what you ended up kind of getting into yourself and kind of finding out all of these good ways to support? Because I think so many people think about virtual work and they don't really know how to go about it. And I find that as well for like in person, there's always a lot of questions surrounding like mentors or asking others for advice and what they do. So I'm wondering like how you got started to kind of find what works best for virtual. I think that's so beautiful. And if any of you guys are here right now and have special offerings or anything coming up, feel free to send them to me either on Instagram or I'll leave my email down below too. But I love to share others' offerings and really like special and important things that are coming up for you. So feel free to send them to me and I'll share them on my Instagram page. Well, Hunter, it sounds like you're doing an amazing job. Seriously. So much kudos to you and what you're doing for others as you go through something tough. I think you're doing really important work, and that's really amazing. You just have a gift. Not even through a training, you're just doing this. Wow. Wow, it's so possible. Like, you're going after something that matters to you. And I think that more people need to see it's possible. You just have to get into it, get started, and you're doing it. So good for you. Seriously. It's amazing. So if there's no other questions or nothing else to really add right now, feel free to ask any more, but I think we can probably start wrapping up now. But I just want to thank you so much for being here, being a part of this live. And yeah, it doesn't look like there are any more questions. So I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever I pop on live again. I'm not sure, but keep your eyes out for the Facebook group. I would say probably check back tomorrow, and I'm hoping to have the Facebook group up and ready to go by then for doulas aspiring to be midwives and mothers, anyone that's kind of looking into this work. So thank you guys so much for being here, and give it a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And I'm hoping to see you guys very soon. Bye. Have a beautiful weekend.